In a political revelation that has sparked heated debate across South Africa, presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya has openly admitted that President Cyril Ramaphosa holds an unusual and perhaps unenviable record, being the most criticized head of state by his living predecessors. Speaking at a recent press briefing in Pretoria, Magwenya broke from the usual diplomatic caution, shedding light on what he claims is an unprecedented level of scrutiny from the very leaders who once occupied the highest office in the land. According to Magwenya, Ramaphosa's tenure has been marked not only by the public's dissatisfaction on key socio-economic issues but also by persistent, vocal rebukes from former presidents including Thabo Mbeki, Kgalema Motlanthe, and Jacob Zuma. In the history of our democracy, no president has been so openly and frequently criticized by those who came before him, Magwenya noted. It's not just political rivalry, it's a mixture of ideological differences, policy disputes, and deep fractures in the ANC itself. Magwenya elaborated that much of this criticism stems from Ramaphosa's leadership style, which has been described by some as too cautious and overly consultative. While his supporters see this as a sign of inclusivity and careful governance, his detractors, including his predecessors, argue it has slowed down urgent decision-making in a country grappling with economic stagnation, rising unemployment, and an energy crisis that has left citizens weary of rolling blackouts. Former President Thabo Mbeki has been particularly outspoken, accusing Ramaphosa's administration of lacking urgency in tackling corruption and failing to effectively implement long-term economic reforms. Kgalema Motlanthe, though less combative, has also questioned the president's ability to assert strong leadership within the ANC, hinting that internal party compromises have weakened the government's hand. Jacob Zuma, on the other hand, has been far more personal and direct in his attacks, often framing Ramaphosa as a puppet of outside interests and questioning his loyalty to the party's liberation values. Magwenya, however, defended the president, suggesting that the constant criticism is in fact a byproduct of Ramaphosa's commitment to transparency and open debate. This is not a president who silences dissent or demands blind loyalty, he said. The fact that former leaders feel free to criticize him is actually a reflection of the democratic space he protects. Political analysts are divided on whether Magwenya's comments were a calculated move to portray Ramaphosa as a victim of unfair attacks, or an unguarded admission of the challenges he faces within his own political family. Some suggest that framing Ramaphosa as the most criticized could garner sympathy from the public and reinforce his image as a reformer under siege. Others warn that it may reinforce perceptions of weakness at a time when he needs to project authority. For ordinary South Africans, the spectacle of presidents past and present trading jabs is both fascinating and troubling. On one hand, it reflects a healthy culture of accountability, on the other, it raises questions about unity within the ANC and the stability of its leadership. As the 2026 elections loom closer, Magwenya's statement has added yet another layer to the narrative surrounding Ramaphosa's presidency, a leader navigating not just the challenges of governing a divided nation, but also the persistent shadows of those who came before him. Whether history will judge him as a principled Democrat or an embattled leader unable to overcome internal and external pressures remains to be seen. For now, one thing is clear: Cyril Ramaphosa is walking a political tightrope, and the voices of his predecessors are growing louder with each passing day.